Napaka-exciting, General Garcia, sir. Nitong nagte-trending mong post na talaga namang ang dami-dami na nang nag-share, nag-like, nag-heart at tuloy-tuloy po ang reaction. Go ahead po, ano po ang pinakahuling issue, pinakahuling update dito sa disqualification issue na inyong inihain sa COMELEC?
Pinaka-latest is that it is still pending with the Commission and Bank. No?
Yes.
If you remember, nung final ko yun ng February 14, mabilis naman yung action eh. February 14, March 4, meron ng order of dismissal on technicality kasi sabi hindi ko raw inattach yung jurisdictional requirement na certificate of candidacy.
Okay.
So pinaliwanag ko lang sa kanila, nag-motion for reconsideration ako nung March 7 naman, no? Mabilis din.
Opo.
Nung March 4 nag-issue sila ng order, March 7 final ko yung aking motion for reconsideration, pinaliwanag ko sa kanila na hindi ko inattach yung certificate of candidacy kasi kung mag-a-attach ako ng certificate of candidacy, ang i-attach ko lamang certified true copy. Samantalang yung kakong original
ay nasa COMELEC.
Nasa COMELEC. Sabi kong ganon. So sa batas, the best evidence when the question when the contents of a document is in question, the best evidence is the original. Nasa inyo po original, sabi ko.
Yes.
Yon. So nireconsider naman, no? March 11, mabilis din. March 11 nag-issue sila ng dalawang order. Number one is we are certifying and elevating the case to the Commission and Bank and ordering the clerk of the Commission to elevate the records of the case. Wala na po nangyari after that.
Okay. Meron pong palaging sinasabi na baka daw masubjudice. Bilang isang abogado rin at ano po ang pagtingin nyo rito? Kung tayo po ba ay bordering on that na subjudice rule or dapat lang talaga na tuloy-tuloy ang pag-expose natin dito sa ganitong issue?
Dapat lang po pagka ganitong usapin ang pinag-uusapan, dapat din pong maunawaan ng ating mga tagapakinig, ng ating mga kababayan kung ano na yung status kasi napakahalaga po nung kasong ito. Tama po yung subjudice kung halimbawa merong katunggali na ako halimbawa sa aking mga sasabihin,
yes,
maaaring maimpluwensyahan ko yung mga maestrado,
yes,
sa kanilang magiging desisyon, no? Maaaring subjudice because magiging kumbaga yung partiality nila maapektuhan. Pero in this particular case, sa akin, ulit-ulit kong sinasabi, you can decide it either way. It doesn't matter to me. Kailangan lamang desisyon
may
na
desisyon.
ninyo. Desisyon na ninyo, yes.
So yung ganito,
Resolve.
na parang, ano ba, in limbo, hanging.
Hindi naman. Nga, dahil medyo siguro naging busy sila masyado, medyo nakaligtaan yung isang mahalagang kaso. Pero ang pinagtataka ko lamang, sa batas kasi, 7 days before the election, lahat ng mga pinapadisqualify kailangan magkaroon ng desisyon.
Yes.
Marami silang dinesisyonan na kaso. Naiwan yun sa akin. Alam ko ako naunang nag-file. Maaga ako nag-file. February 14, final ko na yun sa akin yung iba, hindi ko alam, pero alam ko nauna ako sa kanilang nag-file. Hindi ako nakasama doon sa listahan ng mga dapat i-resolve.
Okay.
Ngayon, nung medyo naiiwanan na ako, naramdaman ko, sabi, teka muna, hindi yata ako kasali. Antay ako ng antay, asa ako ng asa na, alam mo naman ako, naniniwala ako sa sistema
Yes.
Naniniwala ako sa COMELEC, pinupuri ko nga sila. Pero nung nakita ko, teka muna. So nung gabi nung election, nung May 12, nag-file ako ng precautionary motion to suspend proclamation.
Yes.
Dahil baka ma-proclaim. No?
Yes.
So, na-proclaim nga.
Nako.
Pero no, it doesn't matter because the issue that I raise is do they qualify as candidates?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter whether they have been proclaimed or not because at the end of the day, when the Supreme Court makes a decision, if they qualified as a candidate, iba po kasi yun If you did not qualify as a candidate, hindi ka kasali. No? So, hindi ka kasali sa eleksyon.
Yes.
Kung meron ka mang naging nakuhang mga boto, hindi yun valid pa in your favor because hindi ka nga nag-qualify as candidate.
Yes.
So that is the importance doon sa kailangan ma-resolve nila sana yung issue bago nung eleksyon. Because yung bang mga tulfos na yan na finailan ng disqualification nag-qualify as candidates.
Yes.
Okay, now como tapos na election, nagkaroon na ng proclamation, yun ang sabihin natin, nakakahiya doon sa mga taong na involved because we go back to the situation where we have to decide or you have to decide on whether or not they qualified as candidates. Bakit ko sinasabing hindi sila nag-qualify as candidates? Number one, sinasabi ko, bawal sa Constitution. Let's not be let's be very clear about that. Bawal sa Constitution ang political dynasty. Ang kulang lang doon is ano ba yung political dynasty na sinasabi. Okay. I agree, walang enabling law. Pero sabi ko, dahil yung batas ay malinaw na bawal ang political dynasty, meron namang situation hindi mo kailangan ng definition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Halimbawa, sinasabi naman malinaw, concentration of political power in one family. A family is described as those belonging to a family within the third.
Mm-hmm.
The third civil degree of consanguinity or affinity.
Okay.
Pagka third civil degree, kasama doon yung kapatid, asawa, anak.
No, yes.
Alright. Sila na yun . Actually, second degree lang sila . Second degree of civil degree of consanguinity and or affinity. Yung asawa, second degree. Yung kapatid, second degree. Yung anak, first degree actually, no? So nandun sila sa within the bounds of prohibition dun sa discussion ng constitutional commissioners nung tinadraft yung 1987 Constitution.
Okay.
So nung una, anya na sila isang senador, 3 congressman, 4 na sila in one family. Gusto pa nila ngayong maging 3 silang senador, tapos isang kapatid nandun sa House of Representatives, yung asawa at anak 6. So sabi ko, pag yun na nga, yung isa yung kapatid si Wanda. So 6 na sila ngayon.
Okay.
No? Sabi ko, pagka ganito na ang situation, my God, that is a political dynasty by any language. You don't need a definition. Kasi kung aantayan mo pa ng definition yan, mga eng-eng na tayong Pilipino lahat.
Yes.
See, so merong obvious, merong blatant. I mean, forgive me for using the word, merong vulgar na, masyado ng vulgar, masyado ng kabastusan.
Para hintayin pa.
Para
yung,
antayin mo pang magkaroon ka pa
enabling.
kailangan ng definition doon. Okay, so gusto ko lang magkaroon ng panimula. Okay, sabihin ng Supreme Court, tama yan. Pagka ganyan na ang usapan, hindi mo na kailangang i-define. Political dynasty na yan. Because lahat sila 6 in one family in Congress. Alright? So, doon ka magsisimula ngayon. Ngayon, kung i-grant ng Supreme Court yan, pwedeng panimula na sa susunod, meron ding magpa-file, itong ba, ganun din ang situation. So, pwede nang panimulan kung hindi man magkaroon ng definition ng ating Congress, pero on a case-to-case basis, the Supreme Court may be able to define sino ang nagfo-fall within the prohibition or not.
Yes.
So that is my purpose doon sa una. Yung pangalawa is very important. Very, very important. Kaya sinasabi
yung citizenship.
Itong dalawang issue na to is very important to all of us. Because yung pangalawa kasi is yung, hindi citizenship yung natural born status.
Yes.
Yung natural born status. Yung kasing natural born status is you were born a Filipino and you remained a Filipino. Uninterrupted. Once na na-interrupt yan, hindi ka na natural born.
Okay.
Alright? Because once na nag-acquire ka ng citizenship in another country, alien ka na nun. And if you apply to reacquire Philippine citizenship, you go through the same process as any other alien. Alright? And when you reacquire Philippine citizenship, you are not restored to your status as a natural-born Filipino. Why? Because the Constitution defines a natural-born Filipino as one who does not have to one who is born a Filipino and does not have to perform anything to perfect or to acquire his Philippine citizenship. Pagka nagpasumpa-sumpa ka sa naturalization process, naturalized Filipino ka, hindi ka natural-born Filipino. And for as long as that provision in the Constitution remains, kahit anong batas ang ipasa nila, you are not going to be restored to the status of a natural-born Filipino. Kasi maliwanag sa saligang batas, ano ang natural-born Filipino. Assuming na yung Republic Act 9225 yata yan, if I remember the number correctly, reacquisition of Philippine citizenship, that is okay. You reacquire Philippine citizenship, but you are not restored to the original. So how you were before. Hindi ka na natural born. And therefore, if you're not natural born, hindi ka pwedeng maging presidente, hindi ka pwedeng maging vice-presidente, hindi ka pwedeng maging senador, hindi ka pwedeng maging congressman.
Yes.
Yun ang bawal. So, yun yung sinapaliwanag ko. Ngayon, bakit mahalaga itong second issue? Kasi dito sa second issue, nakatali dito yung jurisdictional, yung jurisdiction ng COMELEC to pre-screen candidates.
Yes.
Alright? Kung titignan mo yung ating COC, yung ating Certificate of Candidacy, pag nag-file ka, walang citizenship dyan, walang nationality. Oh. E di ibig sabihin kahit sino, kahit saan kang galing na bansa, mag-apply ka, pwede kang maging kandidato. Okay? Pwede kang maging kandidato at ang sabi ng Supreme Court, doon sa kaso ni Grace po, pwede mo lamang siyang questionin pag siya'y nanalo and you file a co-warrant of proceeding. Hindi pwede yun. Sa co-warrant of proceeding, you allege, you prove. Pagka yung dito sa as originally provided, yung constitutional jurisdiction ng COMELEC to pre-screen candidates, you prove because it is a constitutional requirement. Yes. Sabi ng Constitution, you have to be a natural-born Filipino to be senator, natural-born Filipino to be congressman.
Yes.
You prove. When your citizenship is questioned, ikaw has the burden of proving you are a Filipino or you are a natural-born Filipino. The burden rests on you and you have to defend that as often as you are questioned. Yun yung importance ng second issue. And that second issue is very important because it will restore to the COMELEC yung kanilang constitutional, yung kanilang jurisdiction. Constitutional jurisdiction to pre-screen candidates and therefore hindi na tayo mangyayari na magkakaroon tayo ng Alice Go ulit in the future. Marami yan, hindi naman natin na scrutinize lahat yung mga governors at vice mayor at
na lumusot.
Na lumusot, no? Because wala ngang nationality issue ay wala namang nagki-question. Yun yung importansya ng bakit kailangan niyang i-resolve yung aking petition so that bigyan niya ng panahon para ito'y makarating sa Supreme Court at ang madesisyonan ng Supreme Court. This is very important. Now, why is Grace Poe case very important? Because that is the one that removed the jurisdiction of the COMELEC, yung kanilang constitutional jurisdiction to pre-screen candidates natanggal sa kaso ni Grace Poe. And I am questioning that. I want to question that because the ruling in Grace Poe was laid down by the affirmative votes of 7 justices. 5 dissented. Okay? Yung 3 hindi nag-participate. Okay? So kailangan para magkaroon ka ng doctrine, 8.
Okay.
Okay. Sa kaso ni Grace Poe, meron ka bang 8? 'Di ba 7 affirmative votes? Meron kang 8 doon sa kabila.
Okay.
Yung 5 who dissented and 3 who did not participate. That's 8.
Okay.
Alright? So actually, kung tutuusin, 8 yung hindi nag-agree sa opinion ng ponente dun sa kaso ni Grace Poe. And therefore, it is very high time for us to, dito na yung opportunity, ngayon na. Kaya dapat magkaroon ng pagkakataon yung Supreme Court to revisit, to say, no, we are not changing our mind, we agree with the ruling in Grace Poe. Period. O tama yun. Pag-usapan natin, baguhin natin. Ganito dapat. Kasi Constitution ang nagbigay ng jurisdiction sa COMELEC to pre-screen candidates. Hindi pwedeng election protest after proclamation. Before pwede. Alright? Dapat before pwede. Doon pa lang para malinis na.
Meron akong clarification.
Okay, yes.
Clarification, you as a lawyer, and let us go back to COMELEC.
Okay.
Sabi mo kanina, sabi ng batas, they have to resolve the issue on any petition for any candidate 7 days before the election.
Dapat yun yung ano sa procedure ng COMELEC.
7 days.
7 days before the election dapat ma-resolve lahat ng petition for disqualification.
Hindi nila naginawa or hindi nila nagawa. Can you sue the COMELEC?
Pwede naman. Kaya lang ayoko nang dumating doon
Pero akin ano lang.
Strictly speaking,
because they did not do their job.
Strictly speaking, yes you can. Pero alam mo yung mga mga commissioners ng COMELEC, impeachable officers to Hindi to pwedeng
I-demanda.
kakasuhan mo lamang. Filean mo ng impeachment. Because constitutional commission, yung nakakalungkot Yung ating mga constitutional bodies which were supposed to be shielded from politics are no longer. I mean, it appears no longer, kumbaga parang apektado na rin. Kaya nga dapat magkaroon tayo ng resolution dito na mabuti. With all due respect to the commissioners of Yun. So,
merong isang punto kayong sinabi dun sa inyong post na palagay ko dapat bawat Pilipino ay mag-isip. Yung pag nakakalusot, yung mga nagpapalusot na tulad yan, ang title nila honorable. Karapat dapat ba silang bigyan ng ganyan titulo na honorable kung nagpalusot lang?
Hindi. Kapag na-elect siya and kinatigan niya ng ating Korte Suprema, talagang honorable yan. No? Kaya nga ang sinasabi ko, hayaan mong makarating sa Korte Suprema para ma-desisyonan ng Korte Suprema. Huwag mong, do not let it lapse into oblivion.
Yan.
Ang nangyayari kasi parang he is allowing it to lapse into oblivion na mawawala na lamang. Sayang yung pagkakataon. Mahalaga yung mga issues na pinresent dito sa tasong ito.
Ano na yung tawag? Hindi na honorable congressman.
Oo.
Dishonorable congressman ang tawag sa
mention.
Hindi, wag naman. Wala namang ganoon. Ang sinasabi lang natin is kaya yun yung reason why kumbaga for constitutional positions ang requirement is natural born Filipinos. Yung presidente, kasi yung unquestionable loyalty as well.
Yun nga yung honorable tsaka yung unquestionable loyalty.
Unquestionable loyalty. These are people who never swore allegiance to any other flag except the Philippine flag. Yan, no. So, yun yung gusto ng ating mga brilliant minds that crafted the Constitution para manatiling wagas talagang atin. No? Ngayon, kung pababayaan natin dahil politika, kaibigan here, kaumpare dyan, wag naman. I mean, siguro marami rin naman tayong mga kaalyansa dyan na susuporta sa atin in saying na hindi rin kami pumapayag. No?
Yes.
Yung kailangan lamang nung suporta, nakakatuwa naman yung mga comments because yung mga comments positive naman and very encouraging. Hindi ko pa nabasa lahat. May mga nakita lang ako na Pero I am sure there are many out there who agrees with me and will want to
ilang libo na po yun, mababasa nyo ba lahat?
Yeah, mabuhay ka General Garcia sa iyong laban at we are supporting you.
Maraming salamat po. Yun. So that is the importance.
Yes.
Importance of yung kasong nakabinbin sa COMELEC. Now the other thing that yung kasi sinabi ko na-proclaim ka nga
Okay.
Ano ngayon ang epekto ng proclamation? Kung hindi ka nag-qualified as candidate, anong epekto ng proclamation mo? Hindi ka nga qualified as candidate. Di null and void. Sabi nung meron nagsasabi, binoto ng tao yan Nakailang milyon yan Tama yun. But the vote of the people will not erase the rules that we laid down before we even went down to the election. Hindi pwedeng balota ang mag-dictate. Kasi kung balota ang magdi-dictate, political anarchy yan. Magkakagulo, wala tayong stability. So if we set the rules, we follow the rules. And under the rules, you first have to qualify as a candidate before you become a candidate. And if you do not qualify as a candidate, you are not a candidate. Kahit pa naiboto ka, stray votes lahat yun.
Yes.
Ganon dapat yung treatment nun. So, but then again, what I'm saying is, these are my views. Supreme Court is the final arbiter of everything. Pero these are good issues that should be decided very, very soon. I mean, like, dapat, no?
Pero until and unless ang COMELEC magkaroon ng either favorable o non-favorable decision, hindi pwedeng i-elevate sa Supreme Court.
Hindi pwedeng i-elevate kasi kailangan talagang magkaroon muna sila ng ruling, no? Meron sigurong instance kung talagang hindi nila gagawin, mauobliga ako under Rule 65, no? Under Rule 65 sasabihin ko they committed grave abuse of discretion by not acting on my petition, i-elevate ko under Rule 65. Ito yung grave abuse of discretion. Pero mas gusto ko kasi dun sa Rule 45.
Okay.
Sa Rule 45 ko i-elevate because in my view, sa Rule 45, the Supreme Court is very powerful because that is where the Supreme Court interprets the laws, including the basic law of the land. And when they interpret, they are not transgressing borders between among the three pillars of government, yung executive, legislative, and judicial. Sakop nila lahat 'yon.
Yes.
Doon kasi sa Rule 65, pagka doon ako sa Rule 65 pumasok, mahirap anong sasabihin? Grave abuse. Sabihin mo sa legislative, grave abuse ka. Kung hindi ka pansinin, di nagkaroon tayo ng constitutional crisis. O halimbawa, sinabi mo, Mandamus, I am commanding you, Congress, to define political dynasty. Kung hindi ka pansinin, di meron tayong, because equal body, you cannot. Yun yung problema mo dun sa Rule 65. Pero dun sa Rule 45, pag sinabi ng Supreme Court, ito ang sabi ng batas, this is how we interpret it, that becomes a law of the land.
Yes.
Alright. So, pero kailangan doctrinal. At least 8. Doon kay Grace po, 7 lang sila. Kaya sinasabi ko, pwedeng balikan, pwedeng tignan ulit. Alright? And that is not, kumbaga, medyo maraming mga basically yun yung pinag-usapan doon kasi actually napunta yun doon sa foundling ultimately, but on the jurisdiction of the COMELEC to pre-screen, dapat ibalik, ma-restore yun.
7:28 ng gabi, magbabalik po ang programa Nga Pa Pilipinas, makalipas ang ilang paalala.
Up Pilipinas. Usapang pangkapayapaan. Usapang pangkaunlaran Pilipinas.